So, welcome to the Shining Farce. This is John.
No, this is Gareth.
This is John. I am Gareth.
This is Gareth.
We'll be episodes 21, 22. If numeracy has stuck with me. How is John this evening? How is chat this evening?
I'm okay. I think I speak for everyone in chat going, this is a very Monday.
Yeah.
I'm glad for Monday to not be Monday. And I hate Mondays.
Yeah, thanks, Garfield.
As a cat once said.
As one other famous ginger would say.
Yeah.
Katona's saying, saying it's going, boo, try again. Right.
I hate Mondays.
Have these guys
I don't know how
Garfield's
Garfield's suddenly becoming more and more like the Beatles with every passing iteration. I want to hold your hands.
So, he's telling us that ancients used to use flying machines to cross the sea in minutes. Sounds familiar.
It does. I wonder if they'd use that concept again, I wonder.
Yeah. I wonder if someone was like, in the, design Shining Force 2, and it's like, you know that thing we mentioned from one of the beardy guys? We should do that.
I mean, they probably had, concept art all drawn out of all the kinds of things they'd want to do and just gone, we couldn't do that in this one, so let's do it in the sequel.
Is it wrong that part of me is really hoping that someone just made a paper plane and went, it's part of the law now. It's part of the law.
Yeah, why not?
Alan, what are you doing? Oh, you're not bored again? No.
Is this your intro to the episode?
No.
Are we in the middle of it?
Yeah. No, it's just how my brain's going in the fact, I'm just...
Guys, alright. Guys, it's chapter 7, okay? We are gonna go and storm a tower. We're also gonna talk to a king.
Right, I'm just making sure he didn't have anything to say after that last fight.
There you go. So he's given us permission to enter the Tower of the Ancients, and that's where our next battle is going to be.
I
if you're joining us for the first time, hey, thank you very much. This has been a long journey of my education. Gareth educating me on the Shining Force 1 on the Mega Drive, because that's what this is. And so far, I've enjoyed this experience, but there have been many caveats to that. It's not been a 100% enjoyable experience.
Before I enter the tower, John in the previous episode actually commented that he's enjoyed this. So he went from, this game is bad and I hate everything about it, to...
I feel that's a little bit strong.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being misrepresented by my attorney here. If I could just represent myself for a second.
It's a bold strategy.
I dislike the AI in this game.
Okay.
And also, some of the writing's not that great. But you have to remember when this was made, good writing barely ever happened. So, especially in a Japanese game that got brought over and then got translated by a very overworked person who probably went, "Oh my God, I'm being given this game today. It's got so many lines of dialogue. Please, God, help me, why?"
Not more dialogue, please, God.
Yeah. I get the feeling that's kind of how the situation was, wasn't it? It was one, you remember Ted from Scrubs? You know, with the fop sweat, and he's just there in his dingy little, office space. I can imagine that being the translator. Basically, the guy who gets stood on, and they just throw it on his desk and go, I want that done by Monday.
Yeah. Just on
Again,
a description.
Monday being poopy.
So, do we just give the Turbo Pepper to Grumps so we can actually, move and maybe get involved in some of the combat and stuff?
I feel like that's good. We had this discussion off camera, basically saying that I wanted the mobility ring to go to Grumps because people have been saying before that he's a little underleveled. But the Turbo Pepper does that too, so... And it frees up another slot for him to have that white ring, so maybe yes.
Screw it, it's happened now. It's happened now.
Happened.
It's canon. It's now.
There we go. So there we go. Why not both?
Why not both?
Why not both? Why not both?
Because I want Masashi to also get involved in combat.
Both.
Both. Oh.
Sorry, that's a Road to El Dorado line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that film.
So, I've been all the Master Mages so far, John, so I reckon you can be the Dark Mage. You strike me as more of a Dark Mage to a Master Mage.
Sure. Stop them! Lord Dark Soul must not be disturbed.
He's not had his French breakfast, he's not had a hot chocolate, and he's still in his fluffy rabbit slippers. Just quickly with Dark Soul being mentioned before I do the Nova voice, I was searching for an image of Dark Soul for one of the thumbnails, and he's listed on Google as a musical artist.
Oh, fantastic. What kind of music? What tier?
I didn't check, but
genres?
John's looking now.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Nova this right now. We must get inside the tower. Smash through those monsters quickly, Grumps. My throat's actually working this week. It actually didn't like break me to do the voice. So this
it's down as dance and electronic.
He strikes me as that kind of guy. So we've got an ice worm. We've got some.
But you actually do.
Steel
Wait, isn't
claws.
that just like a flying toaster?
What this?
Yeah, that's a flying toaster, the steel claw.
Yeah.
And then that guy is from the Technodrome.
Yeah,
the torch eye is from the Technodrome.
Are you sure? So if this is a toaster, is the torch eye, not just a lamp? Just like a really wiggly, bendly lamp. We seem to have a lot of enemies on this map.
It's a big map too.
Yeah.
It's not a small one.
This is like the forerunner of the Xeon Tower, isn't it? This is...
I kind of actually like this design more than the Xeon Tower, if I'm being honest. A flying coffee machine, Papal puts forward.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Katonus, Dark Soul, Christian rock artist. Oh, someone needs to do that. I remember many years ago, one of my friends who's in a more popular metal band than this artist, he practiced all of his audio editing back in the day of... People remember MySpace? And he created a profile account called Rude Dog and the Dweebs.
Okay.
And that was his...
I can just imagine Dark Soul doing a cover of Creed's My Sacrifice. That's all I'm going to say.
Just Alter Bridge and nothing else. What was the song I'm thinking of? Hero by Chad Kroeger.
Oh, yeah. I introduced my daughter to that the other day. So because of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie coming out, and the mention of like the Tobey Maguire movies and obviously the what's the other guy's name?
Andrew Garfield.
And thank you, Andrew Garfield films. My daughter hasn't seen any of those, so we went around and bought, because they weren't streaming it anywhere in the UK. So we bought the movies for, I think it was like £10-15, something daft like that. It was nothing. I mean, it seems like a waste. I mean, you've only got so many uses of that before it breaks.
Well, last time it only had as many as one.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I bought those movies for her, and we watched the first movie, the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Movie.
Sorry to interject. Katonus, yes, we did remember to repair the ring.
Yeah. And she loved it. But the other thing we had to do was that song Hero was massive when that movie came out. It was one of the biggest songs of the year, so we had to play it for her. I still like that song. I think it's a good song.
Should I be calling like child services to have your daughter taken away from you for the abuse?
It's a good song, Gareth.
It's not a good song. It's a terrible song.
It is a good song. It's a good song.
Good evening, Major Williams. I hope you're well. Right, chat, where do you stand
I think we should just put it to the chat.
Yeah, chat, where do you stand on Hero by Chad Kroeger and some guy... Was it Saliva, the other guy? Because there was two singers.
There was, yeah, Hero.
I have no idea.
Josie Scott.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the time he was the lead singer of Saliva. There used to be a band called Snot, and I always used to joke that even though they were in there was like a couple of years off between the two of them, that Snot and Saliva should have done a tour. just to...
Do we have the ability to do like a poll in chat?
I don't know. There might be a way you create a poll on a third-party website and link it in chat.
Hang on.
There you go, Katonus. I feel most viral songs are not musically good, but they give you the song gives you a feeling that people kind of like.
That's pretty much how I feel about it. Like, the imagery of the movie, I was still hot off watching that movie again. That's a good movie. And the feeling that seeing those scenes with that song, they play together so well.
Yeah. See, I remember, I don't know if...
Major Williams coming in hot there with True Story. I really liked Hero. So that's 1-0 for me.
I mean, if that's it, it's 1-1, really. I feel Katonus.
Oh, Sinning Saint saying that Gareth's right. Sinning Saint obviously needs to take a drugs test today. Obviously, some doping has been going on, some mind games perhaps on Gareth's part.
I'm kind of curious how my face angers him so much. That's a bold statement to put on the internet. Especially...
Not really, you're ginger. I mean, come on. This can't be a new concept for you.
I mean, if you're wanting to pull those old tropes out, John.
Birdbone saying, unpopular take, don't care for the song either. It's 2-1 Gareth. I'm not liking this so far.
Birdbones, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your input.
Captain Krill basically saying what Gareth really means is that it's a Chad Kroger song, which means it's a bad song.
So, this is what I was...
Okay, so, Nickelback, bad band. I will agree to that. That song, though, is a good song. And should not be tainted by the name of Chad Kroger.
It's got Chad Kroger in it. He wrote it. It's tainted by default. So
it's not by default. It's no. It's a duet. It's a duet by him and that guy from Saliva, Josie Scott. So, Katonus. He hurts me deep.
So
those full stops hurt me, man. They feel me like hot lead.
Those ellipses.
Yeah.
So, John might not remember this, but I very gate equals hate. There was briefly a moment I was in a band with someone John was in college with, and he was called Rob. And Rob was obsessed with, and thanks to another of my bandmates, one of the two Liams, they wrote, I use the term wrote roughly, they played How You Remind Me on guitar while Rob sang what he referred to as, and I quote, the song title, The Full Chad Kroger. And it involved the line something like, couldn't make it as a singer, not much of a guitarist either, but this is how you remind me of what I really hate.
With Rob, are you meaning the guy with like the blonde bushy beard?
Yeah. Who
I do remember him. So like as it comes to no surprise to anyone at this point that has watched any of our stuff, I am terrible at remembering things. And people from like 17, 18 years ago, it's also kind of hard to remember who they are. So the fact that I remember anyone from my college days is probably a good thing. Like he always struck me as a very funny guy, though, Rob. Yeah. So
Rob infamously he used to live in like a small village, and he infamously got so drunk he got home and wondered why he was covered in scratches and wounds around his midriff, and what basically he was regaled with was, you went out drinking, Rob, you were so drunk you thought you'd pulled, and you were involved sweet loving to a thorn hedge until you completed the task and then went home. He's a mechanic.
Katonus. No, I'm not that bad. I mean, I listened to the song like a week ago. So,
are we going to give
my memory's bad, but it's not that bad.
I just saw chat, Captain Krill. I've just remembered I'm doing this on a machine, like an idiot. I remembered, but I forgot about the machine clause.
Nice.
So, John, as we usually discuss at this point, have you enjoyed any video games by Lyle?
So yeah, I have. You know what? I'm just gonna play my Game Pass card right now. Anyone in the chat who has their bingo card ready? I'm saying Game Pass. It's Game Pass o'clock. So on Game Pass for the past was it month, 2 months, maybe even 3? Yakuza Like a Dragon has been on Games Pass.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to play it, but I just haven't had time. But this week was a little bit different, and I was meant to be doing a recording on Friday, and it ended up being an issue for Austin to be there. He had prior engagements, which is completely fine. I hold no grudge there. But I had some free time, which I haven't had in ages. So Yakuza Like a Dragon is what I played, and I love it. I think it's amazing. What do you know about Yakuza Like a Dragon, Gareth?
Not a lot. I know a little bit. I'm just going to quickly answer something from Sinning Saint, where it says Gareth and Tulium sounds like a folk band that specialises in songs that are pretty heavy on pan flute. I'm going to quickly make this comment. I once described the three-piece that me and the other two Liams formed as two Lees and a G, as I was the only one without a Liam as a name, and I described us a three-piece like emo core band in the early noughties as Lancaster's most violent rap duo, even though there was 3 of us, and we're proceeding not to play that music. Look, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So, I'd watched Chris, my sister's boyfriend, play Yakuza 0. And that looked fun.
I played that one.
Yeah, I'm aware that it's like more like a Dragon Quest Final Fantasy turn-based battle game.
It's sort of. It doesn't. So one of the main character, Kasuga Ichiban, says that he played Dragon Quest growing up, and that's his motivation for why the game appears as a turn-based RPG.
Right.
It doesn't really play the same as a turn-based RPG, sort of. So the one of the things that about Yakuza is that when you attacked, you could pick up like items that are around like bikes and signs and stuff and use them to clobber your opponent. And you still do that in this. So that's still a thing that goes on. But it's done in the guise of like an RPG, a turn-based RPG where you have a party system, which is new for Yakuza, because normally it's just your singular character. But in this, you've got like a party of up to 4, I believe it is. I've just got my 4th character. You take it in turns, a la your bog standard turn-based RPG. The characters move around, though, in the battlefield. And you don't have control over that, which is kind of frustrating, because there are definitely times when I'd like certain characters to be over here. Like the squishier characters, I'd like to remain at the back, where it's safe for them.
Yeah.
But no, he'll just take his like plastic umbrella and he's just like da 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 da. Dude, like it can get a little bit frustrating when some of the when you're in a boss fight and the guy will like almost like get one-shotted because of his poor positioning, and you have no control over that.
Just quickly,
which
chat may be happy that that Grumps double attacked and killed someone. And also, at some point,
did he level up?
He did not level up, sadly, but we have also just discovered randomly that Arthur's got Bolt now.
Cool. Okay.
So
does he have enough MP to cast it?
Yes. So,
great.
Commenting on Yakuza Like a Dragon as a transition from a game with quote-unquote a norm that then moves away from said norm. None
of the characters is called Norm.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you get.
What about the guy from Cheers? He's called
Norm. No, he's not in it. There is a person who speaks English in that game, by the way, and it's very good. Yes.
What is English is very good, or the...
It's an actual English person going, how do I get to the station?
Oh, right.
And Ichiban's like, don't worry! Because he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So, there's some good stuff going on. I had... I put on our Discord some pictures of Sujimon, which is the Yakuza version of Pokemon, where I had to fight a bunch of random dudes. One was blue, one was green, and the other was red.
Yeah.
And I had to choose my starter Sujimon.
Yeah.
and then the professor, who I was dealing with at that point, said I could be the very best, like no one ever was.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's some stuff going on. Somebody obviously knows what they're talking about.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at listening. Say, Gareth, I'm now imagining you spitting verses like Bizarre from D12 over Vicious Pan fluting from the Liams. I mean, there was moments where we did really dumb stuff as a band. There was no
I think you'll find it was all dumb stuff, I'm sure.
That
I mean,
was part of the
what
fun.
age were you when you were doing that stuff?
Between the ages of 16 and 26.
Yeah, so all of that is dumb.
Well, you know,
I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't take that the wrong way, Gareth. I mean that in a good way. All 16-year-olds do stupid things.
I once was explaining someone that growing up is basically you start off as like a cartoon character version of yourself, and then you become more like a refined oil painting over the years. In my case, I've just been a trash fire and I've piled on more fuel from year to year. That's how I feel it is. If you didn't do dumb stuff as a band or while in a band, you weren't in a band. There you go. Katonus understands.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't mean it as I was not dissing your band experience, Gareth. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm quite jealous of your band experiences. I wish I had some of that, but I didn't.
I wish we'd done it more often. Grump still has not leveled up, despite getting quite a bit of MP. This is getting disheartening.
Does Pele not have like a ranged weapon?
No, they've just got the Chrome Lance.
Well, Arthur has one because he's.
Yeah, I'm unsure whether to kill this off and give Arthur the level, or to like see if I can heal up and get Bowie to finish that thing off.
Well, that's what I'm gonna. Has the jet had a turn?
It's not had a turn yet, but I need to. There
you
we
need
go.
to heal. You need to heal Grumps, not Bowie, by the way.
Yeah.
You're still calling him Bowie.
I've got more experience of one game than the other. There's a spear nearby
Really?
for
Couldn't
Pele.
tell.
There was a cursed lance when we came in, which we picked up, but I'm not in the mood for a curse. Tonight is a terrible night for a curse. But yeah,
like most nights.
Yakuza, quickly, with us mentioning it, and it being a change of style for that game genre, or for that series.
Some people really hated that, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think it's done it really well, for the most part.
One of the things I want to look at, maybe on stream for funsies, is Mega Man Battle Network, which apparently was meant to be a horror game.
Really?
Not a Mega Man horror game, but it was meant to be like a sort of a cyber.
Not a Mega Man horror game. It was meant to be a Barbie horror game.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are we talking about?
This is basically the Capcom staff. Oh, why did I do that? I was saving that for Bowie. It's fine.
Well, I mean, she's not going to kill it either way, so don't worry.
If we get deadly attacked, we're dead. It's a good job we gave him the white ring, I feel.
I feel like it's playing out pretty. It's paying dividends for you right now.
So I've got 3 or 4 of the Battleman Battle Network, Mega Man Battle Network, the Battleman Mega Network games behind me, but I never got to play them, and because the Game Boy Advance, if I remember, my Game Boy Micro won't use the cartridges for some reason. It'll play other games, but it doesn't work. But apparently the team were tasked with making this horror game, and then Nintendo, Capcom were like, I don't think it's going to work on that game system. So instead, they kind of just took what was available to them, being Capcom staff, and threw together this Mega Man game using some of like the level design of what they wanted from the horror game. And then just threw on like the Mega Man aesthetic on the top. There is another Mega Man game that's slightly different that John would possibly like more. Let me just check items. Use item. Devil Lance has no cool
Sinning,
things.
Sinning Saint just did a little bit of a dialogue there that maybe should be. we should hire David Hayter to read it out. It's just like, I woke up at 26 on a submarine. Apparently from 16 till then I'd graduated from college and signed up for the Navy. There was an awkward conversation running off the boat and being told it was not possible. I think he would do a good job.
That was sounding more like Christian Bale's Batman. And David Hayter.
Where is she?
Papal Batman voice. But another Mega Man game that I think John would enjoy is they did a game called Mega Man Command Mission X. And it's basically a Final Fantasy VII
I just find all the Mega Man like subtitle. Like do they mean anything? What's it called again?
Mega Man Command Mission X.
Okay, so there is a guy called X, isn't there? So I guess that does. So do you play as X in this game?
Yes, it's Mega Man X rather than just Mega Man.
Okay. I'm not the biggest Mega Man fan, so
I really enjoyed
I get
that
confused
game.
by some of this.
I really enjoyed that game, and but it's Mega Man-esque in the fact that its levels are like you go to different levels and you can traverse in and out of them. But the whole point is you fight the different Mavericks, and some of they all have like a different sort of theme in that Mega Man fashion. It is Mega Man X Command Mission. Katonis is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed that game. I did, however, there's two games that I got at the same time, that and Drakengard 2, and I fell into the trap of going, oh, these characters are super awesome and this, that, and the other, and they're the characters who die as part of the narrative, and I'd over-leveled them because I was like, I love this character, they're great. So the rest of the game is like, I've handicapped myself greatly. Let's see how strong
I could already tell, Gareth, you just played the soundtrack of I Hurt Myself
today
in the background.
The Johnny Cash 9 Inch Nails cover.
Yes.
I had a really weird moment where I actually heard the 9 Inch Nails original for the first time in what felt like forever, and I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh wait, no, this is the original version, it's just not as big as the Johnny Cash version.
I gotta say, the Steel Claw looks a lot less like a coffee machine when you see the battle sprite.
It does, however, look like one of the broken robots from Futurama on the Beck tour.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know Futurama nearly as well as you do.
Yeah. It was one of the things we did as a band.
One of the things you did as a band was watch television.
Yeah, we watched so much Futurama, it was unreal. It was especially cool. When I say cool, it wasn't cool at all. When we were doing gigs out of town and we bought one of those portable DVD players so we could just watch Futurama while we were in the green room waiting for other bands to finish.
I'm confused, Gareth. I know I was never in a band, but what you're describing seems less like a band and more like an AV club.
All we did is we took Futurama with us. Usually what would happen in that time period is loads of people would go, oh, Futurama's awesome, and bands would sit and talk to us. Alliance switch, John, watch Futurama, you clown. Gareth rules now.
I watched the first 2 seasons. That's all I've watched, and I only watched them when they came out. Sorry.
I've got all 4 on DVD. I'm sure everyone will be surprised to know. So
yeah,
how are you finding, despite me having derailed you to talk about games that did a similar thing years ago, how are you finding Yakuza?
I'm used to you derailing me. That's fine.
How are you finding
I'm enjoying Yakuza an awful lot. I think I've gotten to a point where the game wants me to be grinding a little bit more. I have heard that the game becomes increasingly grindy, which, unfortunately for me, is like the death knell on
video
me
games.
Basically wanting to complete that game, because it seems like I probably won't. I will get to a certain point in the game where it requires me to do like 3 hours of hyper leveling, and I'll just like, nah, son, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the game is nicely paced in terms of the battles, but I'm really enjoying the characters. I like some of the people in chat probably know right now. I've really attached to the set of characters who are not teenagers in a high school in a JRPG shock horror. Like, who knew? Who knew that, like, the thing that was putting me off JRPGs for the time being was that I wasn't the same age as them. I wasn't. That they're all based in high schools with, like, high schoolers.
Yeah.
I'm not shockingly as it might be to believe, I'm not 17 anymore. I don't know what might give you that impression, but, you know, I'm nearly 40. And having characters that are very believably almost 40 themselves, it makes it quite easy for me to attach to them.
On a side note, about 5 minutes ago, Chris leveled up to level 10. So she can finally promote. She too can also look like an Incan Mumra, potentially.
Omedetou gozaimasu!
But yeah, Sinning Saint also commenting that the Beck episode of Futurama is fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's one there where Bender has, like, his chest becomes like a scratch board,
broke
right?
a washboard. He becomes the washboard player for Beck. Is that a better place for him to...
Stop with the Spider-Man Raimi... Dude, like, I'm not watching them for me. I've seen them many times. I still enjoy them, by the way. I think you're being naive to say that they don't add anything. Considering they're bringing... Like, if they don't add anything, why are they bringing the characters back?
Well, supposedly bringing the characters back. Because there's still
Come on. They totally are. I mean, why have Doc Ock and the Green Goblin there if they're not going to have the other Spider-Mans?
They may not have the other Spider-Mans. This is one of the awkward conversations. Like, Andrew Garfield did an interview and he went, I can't say anything either way, because I'm either going to disappoint you still, or
I have an NDA.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of stops him from saying anything, shockingly enough.
The other one that cracked me up is loads of people thought that Daredevil was in the film. And someone's discovered that in another country, you know the scene where the guy slams down the paperwork?
One of the countries didn't cut it out, and it actually
shows you it's the same.
Right?
No, it's not. It's the other guy. It's the guy who says, "But they're your drones." So the scene when he slams down the paperwork is a different. It's him in a different point of the time frame, slamming down the documents.
Hang on, saying, "Have your daughter watch Futurama? Then you'd be fathering instead of needing a call to Child Protective Services." Wow, you're bringing my fatherhood into question here, Sinning Saint.
I mean,
dangerous ground, especially to a guy who can just, like, you know, destroy you with a thought.
I mean, John's actually
his head just exploded.
John's brain's actually more like a Death Note, so he actually needs to know what Sinning Saint looks like. So you're fine. Don't worry about him.
Looks like a 40-year-old lolicon. Unfortunately, I just killed half the Japanese race.
I killed half the I killed 50% of the weebs in America. I mean, probably anywhere would be a truer statement. So, am I right? Before I do this, the Sword of Light doesn't break at any point. I can just bolt this guy for free. Anyone.
Yeah, it does. Are you in range there, though?
Does it have to be? Ooh, hold on, it's anime. She's actually 3,000 years old.
We're not playing Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
None of that stuff flies here.
Those children-like dragons. Is it Tiki, the one I'm thinking of from Fire Emblem Awakening?
I'm not sure which game it's from, but it is a Fire Emblem game, and her name is Tiki because I've played it on Fire Emblem Heroes. And everyone's like, Tiki's amazing! And I'm like, she's a little girl who pretends to be a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, she is a dragon? I mean, the pretending is very limited when she physically transforms into a huge murdering machine.
Sinning Saint saying, I sit here and berate Gareth for weeks, and one small Legion switch and John is trying to kill me with his mind. That's right, fear me.
And yet, I don't.
That's fine. Just know that I will defend myself from the Sinning Saint 222.
I mean, is that just a large ballet dress?
222?
Yeah,
perhaps. So, another thing I wanted to bring up this week was that I watched the episodes on YouTube of that Gareth put out. He's done a wonderful job so far. But it also brought to my attention that Gareth's gotten a couple of things wrong. So I just thought I'd bring up my notes and put some things right.
All right.
So
so you've actually caught me like simping for League and all the other.
No, it was actually just Shining Force stuff that you got wrong.
Right.
I just thought I'd put the record straight. So you would not have it that Michaela could reach the characters and nearly kill them.
And she did. I witnessed the video.
She totally did. Yeah. And I was also like trying to point out that Lyle's character model gets smaller.
And I
when
agreed.
He promotes, and you just like you went no. He's svelte. I'm like, dude, he's straight up just smaller. I'm pretty sure somebody agreed with me actually. But
Katonis is going, hey Gareth, why not speedrun this and send Domingo and Kikichi up and kill the Dark Mage? Because I want to get some XP. People are complaining that this would kill Kikichi, wouldn't it, if that thing attacks back?
I would imagine so. Also, nice deflecting, by the way.
I didn't disagree with any of those things, John. I was aware of the whole situation. I actually think I tried to make an edit about the bolt thing reaching, and
said no. He said no.
But it did. I was wrong, John.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
Is that all you want? That's all John really wanted. Whereas John what he'll do is like, I'll say this in front of people, and John will be like, well, no one's here. Maybe you were right. He doesn't. He's fine with it.
If I'm wrong, I'll just own up to it. If I'm ever wrong, like, just say so. I'd much rather just, be put right by people than just say, no, I'm not listening to anybody. Hero is a trash song. And, everything's terrible about Nickelback.
I mean, you are right. Your
it kind of is. Like, Nickelback is...
Papal teaching session commences.
Would anyone like to hear about the Nickelback concert that I went to once?
If there's one thing...
Our viewers just dropped off, Gareth, for some unknown reason. I have no idea how that happened.
I think usually when you mention Chad Kroeger, people like either... There's a few limited options that happen. One of them is they just have an embolism and collapse. Others are, they just wonder, like, did he truly just say what I thought he said? And then there's the rare few who go, yay, Chad Kroeger!
It's always saying, I mean, there's one good thing that they do. They finish playing and then get off the stage. So the one thing I do have to say about that particular concert was that, the song that they put out called Rockstar, that was actually very popular for them. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, because unfortunately the radio station that I listen to plays that. Excuse me, that was very rude.
So what they did was, they played that second to last at the concert.
What, to try and get people to stay?
And what happened was, they finished playing Rockstar, and half the audience left. Half the audience left after playing that song.
That sounds about right.
That's awful. I couldn't believe it.
I could.
On the other hand, it made it much easier for me to leave when they finished playing.
Yeah. Thank God that Drek has finished. It's time to go, right? Get the kids in the car!
My wife likes Nickelback. And I don't hold any animosity towards her for it. That's her choice.
I don't envy her.
Half of two is one. I mean, they played at the MEN Arena in Manchester that holds like 40,000 people. So I mean, you can make your own judgment about that.
Just because it can hold that many people doesn't mean it was holding it at the time.
No. I mean, after they played Rockstar, it definitely didn't.
I like there was a point, because there was also... Who was it?
I also noticed... Sorry, go on.
There was another song called Rockstar, and it was it Cypress Hill who did it with like Deftones or something?
Oh, I don't know.
And it was Rockstar and Rapstar, and you could buy 2 different versions. So one of them was like the more guitar-driven version, and then there was another version that was like more rap-heavy.
Apparently, there's a Post Malone song called Rockstar. Is it that one, Gareth?
No. Divorce is a possibility in the modern world, John, Sinning saying. I mean, if anything, divorce seems like the cowardly move. You're going to call me cowardly from before. Like, that seems like the route I should be taking, but I'm not, because I was going to say I'm a man, but that's a very, like, sexist view on the world these days, so I'm just going to say that I rock. I'm an amazing person, so there you go. John is the Rock, but only on weekends. He dresses up as Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I mean, that particular outfit isn't that difficult, is it? It's just a Speedo. It's a black Speedo and some big
elbow
boots.
pads. An elbow pad. Because you need to throw one off at someone and be people's elbowing fools.
I showed my daughter the people's elbow like ages ago. I think when he played Maui in Moana. Yeah. And she was like, "But he didn't do anything special." And I'm like, "Exactly! He just did an elbow drop," and she got it. Like, you know, my daughter was like 7 or something when that happened. When I showed her this, and she's just like, "Daddy, he didn't do anything different." I'm just like, I know! That's the thing that always made me... like. And then the guy has to act like he's been shot. Can you imagine how difficult it must be for the other wrestler to be people's elbowed? Yeah. He's just got to act there like he's just been shot by a 50 cal when he's been elbow dropped. He's just like...
yeah.
What it is.
I mean, I find wrestling weird in an array of colours and fashions. I've never got... like, I think there was a point when I was maybe the age my son is, and I was like, okay, wrestling's kind of cool, but then you had, like, the much more colourful personalities of, like, the Bushwhackers and Jake the Snake and all those kind of, like Ultimate Warrior.
A lot of those people have turned out to be very nasty people, though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. So it's not a very good pool of people to draw from, unfortunately.
At no point was like, oh, by the way, these guys were awesome. I was just like, yeah, they were at least interesting.
Oh, yeah, no doubt they were interesting. I'm just saying that they're not exactly the greatest role models, unfortunately.
I mean, it depends on how many steroids you want to take, John.
0. I don't know. Can steroids fix my big belly? I don't know.
They'll definitely... I mean, the whole thing is pretty much grown men and women getting 3/4 naked and playing pretend while groping each other. I mean, that sounds like a concept John could get behind.
But
Is Xylo dead?
I think Xylo's dead. Yeah,
he's been disintegrated.
He can fight no longer because he doesn't exist in this.
It's just a pile of ash.
Anymore.
He is no longer canon in this universe. So, talking about canon and universes, you've mentioned the upcoming Spider-Man films. Would people like to talk about the Matrix reboot sequel combination that is going on?
Oh, and no. Why did you do that? I'd forgotten all about that now. And I mean, I put on our Discord, like, earlier on before the trailer thing had come out that basically, like, the trailer's getting a trailer.
Yeah.
But why? Like, just... Dude, I understand... I feel like they've waited quite long, actually, to put this trailer out, because it's meant to come out at Christmas.
Yeah.
Usually, like, that sort of thing, they announce it a lot sooner, but I'm wondering if they've had, like, many issues, so...
It depends on the studios as well. This is I don't know if it's a conversation we've had on video or in private. Like, some studios are like Venom. They were like, oh, here we are in Brazil showing you a trailer of the film, and then about 8 weeks later it was in cinemas. But they were like, oh, we're still filming the film and everything, and it's like, so... Somebody needs to explain some things to me right now, because there's a lot of film...
I'm pretty sure they're not filming anymore for The Matrix. I mean, they may be doing reshoots or something, but beyond, I'm not that closely, like, following the production of that. I think it's interesting. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I could very easily see it being bad though.
I think that the method they've chosen is interesting, but I think there's too many things in the trailer for people to knock on. I mean, as a challenge run, you could play where anyone who dies never gets... Katonis is on about playing Shining Force in what they call a Nuzlocke in Pokemon. I believe...
It's all been done?
Yeah, someone's done a version, and I believe they called it the Harem Run, and it was to have a trail of ghosts, I believe the YouTuber described it as.
Trail of Ghosts. Interesting.
Yeah. So, I feel tempted to give Masashi his regular sword back, because I think he could have been killing things rather than...
What? Have you been using the Doom Blade?
Yep.
Oh, okay. And you didn't get any one-hit KOs or anything?
Nope. I've attacked 5 times and got nothing. All I got to show for it, this lousy stream. Everyone in chat's great, by the way. I'm just...
I was just going to say, like, well done for joining our stream. Now go away, according to Gareth.
I mean, there's certain members of our stream who probably enjoy that. 5 times, that's rookie numbers. I'm unsure as well with a run being talked about. So the other day when I had like I was a little bit the wrong way out yesterday, as I was explaining to John, and I almost considered putting on... Oh, it's fine. Putting the Shining Force Final Conflict Game Boy game, a Game Gear game on just as like an impromptu stream. The Katana's stronger. I'm not sure if there is apparently a Gisarm-like insta-kill effect, which is what I was like, oh, we'll try that out.
That's what I read.
Yeah,
I read that 1 in 4 shots will instantly kill.
I was like,
but it hasn't happened so far. So
I was like, oh, we'll try it for the shiggles.
Yeah, why not?
I'm here to entertain, supposedly.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's just me and you, Gareth. There's nobody else here.
Just the figments of our imagination who've just been very kind for a prolonged period. I don't know if John's noticed that we're not far off 400 followers on YouTube.
Yeah, we're at 390, which is odd. When I think about like the actual number, is just like you could fill a small KFC with that number of people.
You could fill a moderate-sized takeaway.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The amount of support. I wonder how many of those are bots or you know, Russian hackers that want to take all my money. I'm not a rich man. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. On that note, by the way, so I was meant to be doing some editing of another project that we have going on. And hopefully we should have that video out this week on Friday. Check out our YouTube stuff and our Discord stuff for updates on that. And it is Shining Force related. It's not just like some new thing that I'm doing. It is Shining Force related, and it's going to be something new. Let's just put it that way. It's quite exciting.
Bird Bones, thank you for joining. I hope Bird Bones. Yep. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do we think this is with Grumps and the white ring? John's like, do it.
Do it. Do it.
No. Let's see.
Coward.
Bird Bones, probably unwise.
Yeah,
that was maybe my suspicion.
But yeah, Gareth, I think it's safe to say that this thing that I'm talking about is quite exciting. I
think some people who, if you're in our Discord, may have an idea of what John's on about.
Yeah. We can't talk about it yet because it's not ready.
Yeah. But
hopefully there should be a video out this week for it.
Yeah. Some people will have an inkling.
Yeah.
From where you're set him, I could have used Bolt, apparently.
But I thought we could only use that in like
the force
next base over.
Yeah. But yeah, I was considering just for funsies as like a one-off playing the Game Gear Shining Force game because someone said it was just battles.
Oh, there's no story.
Well, there's story, but there's no like map exploration.
Ah, okay.
So, can I kill it with that? I'll kill it with that, just to make sure.
That's interesting.
So, Papple's excited for the new project.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, out of everybody here, Papa probably knows the most about it. So, yeah, it's...
Birdbone's giving me the information I needed 10 minutes ago, but I appreciate knowing.
Yeah. So light is a range of 3. Huh.
It didn't look like that before. It did just look like...
When we hovered over it in the inventory, it looked like it only had the range of right next to you. Yeah. So I'm guessing you had to select into it, and then it would have given... like
There you go.
Wait, what?
So, before it didn't...
It didn't give us that range, did it?
Yeah.
What the heck was that all about, then?
Not a clue.
Huh, weird.
But yeah, I know we were talking earlier... Sorry, I did Bird Bones, but it's cool. Better late than never, as they say.
Yeah.
We were talking about putting a poll up previously, and I've got one up on Twitter, which asks the question of... I put 4 games up for selection to play after I finish the Shining Force game. So that we can... I'm going to stream for funsies. I'm not going to be sticking it on John's YouTube channel. But the games on my list were Nexamon, Shadows over Adam, Mega Man Battle Network. There was a Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. So if you want to find my username on Twitter, it's exactly the same username. You can tell me what you would like to see after this as well. All of those games I'm interested in playing. I don't know.
You actually have Sacred Stones, don't you? It's
do.
Not just going to be emulation. You could use actual hardware.
I mean,
if you had a way of capturing it.
Yeah, I do. I will be using the emulation. Pele has every item under the sun, doesn't he? So he can't pick up this lance. Upward. Yep. But maybe he just comes back here to show... Useless.
Don't forget about that.
That wyvern.
Don't forget about that wyvern guy.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Okay.
That's why I'm sort of trying to move my healers out of the way. Question mark. You probably...
I like how the Chaos Mage, by the way, is just sort of sat there doing nothing. Yeah. He's just like, do I have to? Do I really have to?
Me and my boys. Just chilling. Yeah. Use item. More bolt, please.
The way you describe it is he's basically on a lawn chair with a beer at the top of the stairwell.
On a day like today.
Yeah.
I have ways of making you talk.
Is this the first time Guntz actually gets to do something?
In this fight, yeah. There you go. He did still have a power spear as well. Can Tau maybe kill him?
I feel like fire would be less than useful against the wyvern.
But our other 2 spells are like status effects in like Muddle.
Yeah.
And Dispel, which I feel is even
not
worse.
Not going to be that useful. Yeah.
I don't want to find out how hard this wyvern hits, so I'm going to spin an old man at him and hope it works.
I'd be so dizzy being Kikichi.
Are you like me?
Have you found that, by the way?
Yeah.
That, like, your ability to be dizzy has gotten a lot worse as you get older?
Yep.
Like, can you imagine how bad it must be for him? It must be absolutely awful. He must, like, just be... If I were him, I'd be, like, trying to find a different way to attack. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Running at them.
Yeah.
Instead of using, you know, his lance as a cleaver, which is not what his weapon is for.
Just give him the old kebab treatment.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We're going to find out how hard it can hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's also attacking guns. Hard. It can hit hard.
Yeah.
It punch you the hard.
Yeah.
I do not approve of that. I just come over here a little bit.
Speaking of movies, by the way, I saw the trailer for. Well, hang on, that's not a movie, but I saw the trailer for the series for Hawkeye because that came out today. And how well do you know the Uncharted series, Gareth?
I know Tom Holland's in the Uncharted films. I don't know the video game series very well.
Do you know what the main character looks like, though?
Nathan Drake. I'm aware of what they look like. Okay.
Do you not think that like Jeremy Renner would be like a good fit for like if he would? So when Uncharted started like its production for the movie, it was like 10 years ago or something like that. Jeremy Renner 10 years ago would have been an amazing Nathan Drake. I feel.
You reckon?
He looks the part, and he can definitely be the sort of like, you know, smarmy sort of know-it-all kind of character. He can definitely do that.
I know a lot of fans got really upset that Tom Holland is Nathan Drake, apparently.
Well, yeah, because he's so young.
Yeah.
Like, Nathan Drake isn't a young character. He's sort of like he's almost a burnout in the first game. He's sort of like, you know, he's there to do tours of things because he's been so unsuccessful in his career as a treasure hunter. Yeah. And he just manages to stumble across his big break at the age of like 35 or something. Like, you know.
Who was it? And they were like, I always love how let's try D-Soul on.
Oh yeah, this is gonna work.
I mean, it's a living being.
Shocker. Didn't work against the boss.
I mean,
it's unlikely that you're gonna lose. So I mean, there's no real harm in doing it.
Yeah.
What's your one shot? This guy now.
Yeah. Like that.
I mean,
it seemed to have a slightly different sound effect that time. Musashi gains Demon Rod. In you go, John.
Lord Dark Soul, I have failed. They're coming into the tower. That's disgusting.
Get in there, quickly!
Don't worry about the guys that have fallen.
Oh, this is a female character, John. John,
Keep going. Dark Soul, top of the tower. Hurry.
Am I being the old guy? I'll do the old guy.
I've been everyone else so far.
We can't go on. You must stop Dark Soul.
Don't worry about us. I'm just sounding like Stevie from Malcolm in the Middle. Get Dark Soul before it's too late.
Maybe you are strong enough to succeed where we failed.
So are they? Which characters are they, by the way?
Torusu and a leaf. A leaf? According to Papple, it's a leprechaun.
A leprechaun? Okay.
Is it my turn to be Dark Soul? We've both been Dark Soul at varying points.
I don't know. It's up to you. You choose.
When you've done him, is either... How did someone put him? Skeletor or Spooky?
Yeah.
Do you want to Skeletor it up a little bit, John? Don't act like you don't want to Skeletor it up at any point.
Too late, Gramps!
That back sprite of Dark Soul was not a good sprite.
It has begun! The castle of the ancients is rising from the depths. Soon I will awaken Dark Dragon, and he will rule the world. And now, the time to end your meddling is here. I call upon the darkness to crush this. No, it cannot be.
It is I, Claire. Wait, only me
Kane!
and John. I'm trying to remember the Kane voice I did last week. Yes, Dark Soul, and this time I will stop you.
Ooh, I am now many times mightier than when we last met. Your doom is here!
Just quickly before we finish this, you know they sort of had that fight and disappeared? In my brain, when I was editing that, it turned into the Ant-Man fight scenes where they just shrunk down and they were still kind of just fighting around us.
Okay. So they
were
so
there
you're
all the time.
Thomas the Tank Engine, is what you're telling me.
Ah!
I have no more time to waste with you two. Dark Dragon awaits!
He instant transmitted.
Yeah. I'm dying, Grumps. Go
I'm
to
melodramatic,
Metaphor. Hurry. Kane dies. Exclamation marks allow me to read that. Kane dies!
Oh no!
I'm gonna look forward to reading this line in this voice. Grumps, there's no time for sorrow. Aloof and Turasu are with us. On to Metaphor.